Hi, I'm Michael Anthony Cuff, CBT counselor, broadcaster, and host of Life and Relationships. You're watching Bob Arts TV. Lots of good stuff, so keep watching.
Aquaba. Aquaba is a formal greetings of the Maroon. So it means good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of the day it is. So when I say Aquaba, I need to hear you. Aquaba. Aquaba. And so you have learned one Maroon language, or the Carmanti language of the Maroon. So in Charlestown, we engage in educating and providing jobs, health and wellness, and so much more. So we have a museum that we offer museum tours. We have hiking trails, the Flamboyant hiking trails, and the 18th century coffee plantation trails that we help to use with the wellness and fitness. We have a yearly conference and festival that took place each June on the 23rd. Is one of the days that is highlighted because forward side of East Street Land. And so we have a wellness village where we do Reggae, all different wellness, health, fitness exercises, and using the herbs and medicine, different spas, like the river spa. And I know some of you want to try that, and so much more. We have the educational section of it where we go into schools, or schools come by us and they learn, and we help with the curriculum guide that they do have. Of course, food is a must. And so when you come to Charlestown, you get indigenous food and eat out of a calabash and drink also out of a calabash. So there are many things in Charlestown. If I should list them, then you won't want to come. So later on I'll tell you more about it.
Thank you. And Mr. Ray, can you explain to us?
Okay, so my name is First Man, and I'm here representing Rastafari Indigenous Village and our process. And at Rastafari Indigenous Village, it is really a space that we have created out of our own concern for our own community. And we really thought that in a way, when we heard about tourism, there was something that catch us in tourism in the sense that one person said, the best tourism product is one that is embedded in your local community. So in other words, you don't have to pretend anything, you don't have to stage anything, you just have to do what you're doing, to make your own developments, you know, and also allow that to be packaged in a way where it is accountable if someone visits. So that was kind of interesting to us, and that's what we set out to do. We created a space that would have a museum to tell our own story, because the community of Rastafari has been so discriminated against in this island and sometimes globally, but mainly in this island, Jamaica. So we created a space to preserve and protect and promote a culture that is definitely faced with extinction. We are faced with extinction mainly because we are landless. We are faced with extinction because the type of discrimination that we had faced as it relates to our children in school and otherwise. So Rastafari Indigenous Village is really an effort to preserve some of the things that are being lost, some of our traditions, and we practice these things in this space. And if people would like, they can take an opportunity to see how we develop ourselves for ourselves. So we have various stations in our village. We have a station that is preserving what we would call chocolate. Cocoa, I don't know how many people in Jamaica know that this is going through a very serious issue. We are losing that plant. You know, right now we can't find cocoa nowhere. You know, not even. I went to Cocoa Board yesterday and there was none. Calabash. Every single time there's some kind of a development, the first tree they cut down is the Calabash tree. And this is a very, very important tree to our community. We also have a space that deals with ornaments, so it takes seeds and so on and make them into jewelry and different things, just to show that you don't have to dig the earth every time you want something nice to wear. We also have a soap station, and and this space focuses a lot on all the indigenous herbs that are being lost, and we transform them into oils and into soaps and into different things for the skin. So it's really us preserving and protecting ourselves. Our food, the Rastafari food science, which is called ITAL, is very, very important to us too as well. And we are here at this time representing one of our outreach programs, which is how can we facilitate culture to grow. And that's through this event that we call IRITS, which is a monthly event. Every last Sunday of every month, we keep this ceremony of life to celebrate culture, all aspects of culture, from music to food to craft to wellness to yoga. So some of our yoga teachers are in the space as well. So that's the type of work that we're doing. How can we make a beautiful Jamaica for Jamaicans that others can come and have an experience about?
Thank you for that, Mr. Ray.
Hi, I initially brought a presentation, but I feel that this format of speaking directly is more comfortable. My name is Carmen Portela. I'm from Puerto Rico, and I'm the co-founder of Local Guest. We're a sustainable travel company. What does that mean? So what is sustainability? What is sustainable tourism? It's basically the tourism activity that takes into consideration the past, present, and future implications of our experience, our tourism experience. We work with the triple bottom line, which basically means it's a business approach that also takes into consideration three things: people, place, and planet. All our operations are for the benefit of locals. We practice environmental safety practices through all our operations. And third, profit, which the idea around it is that everybody is getting remunerated fairly via fair trade. When we first started building Local Guests, we saw there was a main problem in the Caribbean as a whole. We are tailoring travelers for a mass tourism instead of a sustainable tourism. The main difference is that we're building programs that are for travelers or tourists to come to our hotels, stay in our properties, but then they don't get to experience the authenticity of a destination that is only experienced through our culture and our ancestral culture and who we are. So coming from the travel and tourism industry, I was seeing all these trends all over the world, focusing on authenticity, focusing on more responsible traveler, focusing on not a cookie cutter experience, but an experience that truly makes you understand and immerse yourself in a destination. That's the way I was traveling all over the world, through Asia and different areas, and like, but why is not at home? Why are we not showcasing our indigenous culture? Why are we not showcasing our ancestral gastronomy? Why everything that makes us who we are in the Caribbean is slowly but surely disappearing? So Local Guest was built in order to co-create and promote authentic tourism experiences, working hand in hand with communities and local entrepreneurs to create a more sustainable ecosystem in the tourism industry. Easier said than done, right? When we started, we thought that through all our marketing experience, it makes a lot of sense to create a platform to get visibility to projects like theirs. That was fair, that helped them promote what they were creating, and at the same time, it was done through fair trade, which is something that the tourism industry needs to learn a little bit more about. How can we be fair with a local economy? And then we noticed that there's statistics from the UN environmental program that says for every $100 that a visitor or a traveler spends at a destination, only $5 stays in the local economy. If we see this, then the tourism industry will never be a true engine of economic development for our communities. Then we will always be, the tourism industry will always be a cookie cutter industry built for foreign companies. So coming from an island, from Puerto Rico, that was suffering from an extremely debt crisis, and tourism was only like 10% of our GDP, it only makes sense to try to change that and create value for communities and local entrepreneurs. So we launched in August 2017. We had 12 community projects that were partnering with us, that we helped them co-create and commercialize their operations. through beta testing, slowly but surely, because it has to be done in a sustainable way. You cannot damage or change the way a community works or lives, because it's a living organism, right? For the benefit of travelers. This has to be done in unity and communication. So we launched, and we had a very successful launch. We had great press, but then a month later, Hurricane Maria struck Puerto Rico. So we became a relief effort company for 6 months, because everybody knew that we were so close tied in with those communities that we had direct access to their needs. So for 6 months, we basically became a relief effort company, food, water, roofing houses, and surely but surely, that trust that is built when you create a true authentic relationship with a human being start flourishing. And now we have more than 30-something projects all over the island. We're expanding to Jamaica, that's what we're here for. I feel that if we work together, we can change the tourism industry for the benefit of locals. So that's what we're here for, that's where I'm looking, that's who we are. And if you resonate what we're talking about, please look for me when I'm outside.
Thank you all for those answers. I do have a question for the panelists here. With your experience and background, what are some practices you would consider when formulating a wellness routine that can be incorporated into a tourist experience?
I can jump in very fast, and then, so there's a couple of things that we have been working with a couple of communities, including farmers and coffee farmers or agritourism product. Again, after a natural disaster, or in the case of farmers that are suffering for not receiving enough economic development through their farm or their crops, we have started helping them create nature walks. Nature walks that incorporate bird watching, flora and fauna detection. So through forest therapy also and sunbathing, we have incorporated these communities wellness routines that are vastly done all over the world, but in the Caribbean is slowly but surely starting. So I will say forest therapy, I will say nature walks, I will say yoga and meditation, and in some occasions, in some of the in some private farms and forests, we have incorporated cannabis into the whole wellness experience for our visitors. Puerto Rico has a medical market, just as you guys, so cannabis is also part of our culture, and travelers are looking for that.
Thank you. Colonel? The question is, with your experience and background, what are some practices you consider when formulating a wellness routine that can be incorporated into a tourism experience?
Well, what are some of the practices that we actually do in our tourism experience is that we use our product that we plant and we grow, so it's more organic, no fertilized, and of course, if our tourists come to our destination, we try to eliminate things like the crackers, so they eat from a calabash, drink from a calabash. The drinks that are used to make the juice are natural, so immediately they will be getting natural stuff. So all of our juices are made with coconut water infused in it, which provides the energy. Because sometimes you have tourists come even after going up to the coffee plantation, that winding road, they come down with the stomach turning over, feeling bad, can't eat their meals. So what we do, we found out that coconut water helps to settle the stomach. So we make the juices with coconut water. And we use natural plants for like mosquito bites and sunburns and so much more. So we continue to use the things are what our parents used to use. For example, if you come and you tell me that you have a pain in your hip, and you're there and you can't move around, I'll assist you. But I'll assist you with natural stuff, natural herbs. You have scratches on you, and they're bugging you. If If I don't put aloe vera on it, it must be some real coconut oil that is going on it. But it's the natural things that we still infuse in what we do so that the tourists themselves or people can get that experience when they do come to our community.
Excellent, thank you.
You know, a friend of mine, he always say that the acronym for BANK is being ancient natural knowledge. And, you know, I remember the first time we did a presentation on TVJ in the Smile Jamaica slot. A young man saw it and he said he told his sister, who then told me about it, that the whole thing that we're doing is a con. You know, it's just, it doesn't make any sense what we're doing, because all we were showing the tourists.
Hi, I'm Michael Anthony Cuff, CBT counselor, broadcaster, and host of Life and Relationships. You're watching Bob Arts TV. Lots of good stuff, so keep watching.
Everything we have in our backyard, so him could not do the same thing too. I think that is our message. You have to embrace what you have. Try your best not to import any idea, because what you have can work and must work. If what you have is not going to work, then you're going to stage yourself. And at that time, tourism will work you. Because if you have to pretend what you're doing and you have to go out and make props for what you're doing, then really and truly, it is going to drain you. It's going to take everything from out of you. So as best as possible, you know what was the biggest thing on our tour? The biggest thing on our tour was Shea Mamaka. It was just amazing. The people have touched Shea Mamaka and it close up and I tell her it's just like the biggest thing they've ever seen, you know? So all that you have around you is valuable. Know the history of the space that you're in. I would always tell people about that. Take time out. You may not think your area represents anything, but if you probably go into the history of your area, you'll be frightened to know what that area represents. The trees that are around you, take some time out to know them, know their names. You know, one of the things that we did, we actually called in IOJ. I don't know if IOJ is the Institute of Jamaica. So when we called them in, they did everything about flora and fauna for us, told us what was there. We never knew that we have over 38 different species of birds in the space. I don't want to tell them say lizard today, some of them come, but no lizard. All different type of birds, all different type of lizard, insects, trees, so many varieties of trees and medicinal trees. So do an inventory of where you live. Make sure you know what is around you and use what is relate with what is around you. Because if you're using, you're going to chop down some tree and you're not going to replace it. You understand? So interact with it, have a relationship with it, preserve it, protect it, and promote it.
Thank you, Mr. Great, now I'm going to open up the floor for any questions that anyone in the audience may have.
Hi, I'm Michael Anthony Cuff, CBT counselor, broadcaster, and host of Life and Relationships. You're watching Bob Arts TV. Lots of good stuff, so keep watching.
Good afternoon. This is Mr. Purnell. A couple of years ago, I had the privilege of coming to Charlestown and doing the Sambo Hill hike. Maybe you could tell the audience what Sambo Hill is all about. My question is, if not already done, if Sambo Hill is it part of your product offer right now for wellness? And if not, how could you incorporate the Sambo Hill hike into a wellness program?
All right, so Sambo Hill hike, of course, is part of our wellness program. So it helps people as they go along the long here at home, and so it tests the fitness of people. So what we do is when we offer the Sambo Hill hike tour, I first find out how capable the people are to go on Sambo Hill. Because as your experience had told you the last time, it's not a very easy trail. And of course, it provides some challenges for you, whereas you challenge your body to see how fit you really are. But at the end of Sambo Hill Trail is a lookout point which you will get really to enjoy. So going up Sambo Hill, if you're a patient with heart condition, high blood pressure, well, you might can go with high blood pressure, but heart condition and asthmatic, I do not advise to go. But then what we do is we administrate them, we look at their fitness level and we see if they can go. If they can't go, well, some might prefer to sit at the Asafo yard, while some might prefer to do off the trail and then come back. It's an hour and a half to the top of the peak of Sabo Hill and an hour and a half back down. The challenge is not going up, the challenge is coming down. So you might think coming down a hill, it is easier. No, it's not. Because then all the pressure is on your legs. You're already tired from going up. And so this is where you get the challenge in coming down. And so, yes, it helps to see how fit you are. And it is already incorporated in our program. Some of us inside this building have already done it and will do it again. And of course, I advise you to really try it first and see how fit you are and see if it's a good program of wellness or see if we should exclude it from wellness, but it is a part of our wellness. As to advise people on the herbs that they use, if you come to Charleston, we do have what we call an herb lecture or herb tour. So we talk about the different kinds of herbs, identifying them, the purpose of the herbs, where they can be found. Sometimes you can see them in their natural habitat, or sometimes we'll just have them right there for you to talk about. Also, a herb comparison is done, where the herb is compared to a person or a person to a herb. So the natural behavior of that plant is the behavior of the person. And sometimes it's surprisingly, when you're finished, people ask you how you know that, but it's just the gift, I think, that you have. But people is advised like how much to take in, when it can be reaped, when you should not reap it, and when you should not drink it. So each plant has their different time. It is like the cycle of the moon, whereas the moon a certain time that it is bright, when it's dull, when it's in full, when it's off. So the plant is like that, and people are being advised about it, like when they come there. As for putting it wider, pretty soon, when we get the the equipment, we'll have things out there so people can see more.
Hi, I'm Michael Anthony Cuff, CBT counselor, broadcaster, and host of Life and Relationships. You're watching Bob Arts TV. Lots of good stuff, so keep watching.
100 years since this whole scientific revolution has taken place. And as Rastafari, we do not use her, we relate with her. And you know, I know that in Sister Diane's journey and speaking to a lot of herbalists around Jamaica, how do you think we test her? Sometimes we watch the goat and so what the goat eat. That is what human beings used to do. Sometimes as a herbalist, you're going through and the next thing you know, there's just a particular herb that catches you and you don't know the herb. But then you start to have that relationship with it. Take your time, rub it on your skin, taste it. Do that already in a rasta, taste herb, and it, just like what she has said, it carries some potency we never expect. But this is what has happened. A lot of our traditional people have died during these processes. And just because so much of human beings are scared of dying, you know, we are scared of having the relationship as well. But personally, for me, I go to herbalists because I know, like my sister up in Jamaica Mountain, Sister Nanny, you know, I see what goes on when you speak to her about your illness. And she goes into that relationship with the herb, and then she walks into the garden and have that conversation about you, and then the herbs come to her about what she's supposed to use. And her success rate is excellent in healing just the same. So I love science, there's no doubt about it. I think it provides great information, but I'm also not a person of standardization either, just the same, because there's no evolution in that. There's no creativity in that. As far as I'm concerned, we're just looking at facts and things, which is good. And a lot of people need that, but still know that a lot of people also go to herbs because of the spirit of the herbs, not because of the science of the herbs.
I want to hold the questions for a second because Mr. Ray does have a presentation that he wants to give quickly. So.
Okay, we just, before we close out, we have created this little video of the program that we do, our ceremony, our festival, whatever people would like to call it. But every last Sunday of every month for the last 2 years, we have been doing this gathering called IRIS. And we just want to share with you, it is something where we use food as a catalyst for every single thing. Food for music, food for health, people, food for entertainment through other forms of like acrobatic skills. Within that, we also see where you can have technological people because you have your photographers, you have your graphic designers, and this is where we think culture can actually preserve any kind of an economic value that we might have. So I don't know if the virgin is ready, but we could just show this short video that we have created to explain a little bit of how culture can work.
Look forward. Brutality. Babylon, the country gets so and things get really harder. As I was standing on a corner reasoning with two daughters, reasoning of Jah equal rights and justice, teaching them of the way they are to live. Here comes a Babylon to ride up on the wayside. As the black man is as the black never get the Babylon jump out like cheap and he said, why? Come give me a search out of the back there. As the black children fall and give to Babylon. Everything Babylon said, as the black man, him take it and ask him when get it like him no word. Such an insult to black man like dignity. Brutality we as the black never get we as the black never get we right hand on my left here I see a criminal on my right and left hand too. They ask lots of questions I know not about. And even say, it's a personal credential. I never want you to know something for you. Just go inside that Jeep boy. Brutality, we as the black never get we as the black never get we. So guess what? Fight the fight. Stand up for what is right. It's a Rasta unite. Run Jamaica land day and night. For the people's right. Brutality. Rasta never get. Let me tell you something again. Marijuana. Rasta black stand for that too. It's the right thing to do. Brutality. We Rasta black never get we Maroon toe never get we So just wants to come out and support Kenya that he representing. God knows I'm out.
Yeah, so that's the monthly festival, and you know, in a way, you ever feel hungry. But you know, it's very, very important to use your own sounds, use your own vibration, use your own music, tell your own story, and that's the importance of this festival that we call Iris.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ray. That was a beautiful presentation, and it definitely appealed to my inner vegetarian. If there are any other statements or anything my panelists would like to add?
Well, of course, yes. In Charlestown, each year, the 23rd of June, like I had mentioned before, we do have the Core Victory festivity. So it's a conference and festivity. Of course, we have an entire day for wellness, where you come in, and some of the things that you do on the wellness day is really unbelievable. People did not know that we include those. So we have things such as camping, live food workshop, plant medicine, mind, body, spirit workout, fire ceremony, sound barnyard, reflexology, Reiki, yoga, Tai Chi, aerobics and exercise, attract massage, massage therapy, herbal and river spa, herbal tea bar, marine cuisine, drumming, storytelling, stargazing, and bonfire. Right? So it's a roots rock reggae bonfire in the night that closes the show, where we have our local artists. Some will sing about the treaty, the signing of the treaty, the Maroon. Some will sing about culture, and some will sing about the food. So we have all that happening over there in Charlestown.
That is wonderful. I hope you all can attend. Thank you for that, Colonel Douglas. And Ms. Portella, do you have anything further you'd like to share before we close?
Yeah, I basically will say that we shouldn't be afraid to showcase who we are as the Caribbean. Our authenticity is what's going to make us different, and travelers are looking for that differentiation. They're looking for that authenticity. They are traveling more responsibly, and we need to make sure that we are part of that trend. That it's not a trend, it's just basically living more authentically, right? There's so many data around demographics that are based, for example, the LOHAS, Lifestyles of Health and Sustainability. They believe in holistic approach to medicine. They're social conscious. They believe in climate change. So all this lifestyle, they take it with them when they travel too. If we are not showcasing who we are, we're going to be irrelevant for a big portion of how the world is going to start traveling, because there's no other way to travel if it's not sustainable.
Great. Thank you so much, Ms. Portella. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. I think we're out of time. Do we have time for any questions? 5 minutes? Yes. Okay, so we have a few minutes. If you have any questions, we can take them at this time. No? Okay, great. Well, I'd like to thank our panelists for their presentations and enlightening information.
Oh, there's a question.
Oh, yes, one question. Go ahead. The mic is coming.
I wanted to find out how we can locate Charlestown.
Okay, we are at the foot of the Blue Mountain. So Charlestown is located in Portland, at the foot of the Blue Mountain. So coming to Charlestown from Montego Bay, Kingston area, when you get to Buff Bay, you make that right turn at the Texaco gas station, about a mile and a half up. The Blue Mountain Valley Road is Charlestown. And if you Google it, you'll find it. Our telephone number, you can reach someone at 365-6524, that's me. And Mr. Randy Rose or Captain Randy Rose at 349-2900 or 429-1892.